so let's talk about this here. I'm sure a lot of people saw this. This came out last night, fam. Today we got kicked off United flight from going from Denver to Newark because our 2-year-old wouldn't comply and keep her mask on. Go see it on my full Instagram. Johnny, you could skip ahead of a little bit and you can just show what happened when they get kicked off. They kicked her off the plane. So she tried. Here it is. There's Daddy trying to put the mask on.
Musa Tavani. Okay? Okay, ako yung para sa tanto. Kuya Tavani?
Do you want to try putting it on her?
Yeah.
Airline.
Musa Tavani.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're almost ready to go. So please put away your carry-on items, including your large electronic devices like laptops. Feel free to keep using it.
I'm gonna have to grab the belongings and next to it, but we gotta be getting it. No, sir. Why? We're over here holding this mask on her face. I'm sorry, sir. Okay, I gave you another opportunity. I took that opportunity and I ran with it. You see this? I'm literally covering her face. I gotta ask you to get out. You guys do this all the time or what? Like, what? There's non-compliance yet. This is compliance. I'm literally holding it over my daughter's face. This is compliance right here.
We can't force her. She's literally holding it and she's crying.
You're gonna do this to us? Like right now? Yeah? Wow.
Alright, let's go.
Your jacket's up there.
Okay. Go.
There's a second part too as well. They took their baggage. They sent their baggage to Newark. The plane was going from Denver to Newark. They sent the baggage there. They wouldn't even take their baggage off. And they have now banned them from using American Airlines. Here was the exchange with the gentleman too as well. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you tell me. This is
ridiculous.
I just think that it's so stupid how you enforce this so strict.
It is.
It makes zero sense.
There's no compliance.
This virus has a 99% survival rate. You know what I mean? Like, if we use our minds...
They're wearing masks.
What happens now?
The kid isn't wearing a mask.
It's 2 years old.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can't fly them. You can't fly them.
So we're barred off United.
Yes. For non-determined, I don't know what...
Because our 2-year-old daughter would not put on a mask? Not us, but our 2-year-old daughter.
I get it.
What do you mean you get it? But like I don't understand.
You should say
She's 2. She's literally 2.
This is fucking stupid.
There's a low tolerance.
I'm so sorry.
What do you mean? We've flown all summer. She's flown with us. And they never had this policy. It was under 5. She's 2. How are you going to enforce a 2-year-old?
That's the rules.
Okay. So what are we doing? We're gonna have bags. Like, what happens now?
We have 3 bags on that plane.
They'll go on to your destination.
They're gonna go on
What?
to the station. We're gonna stop that plane right now.
Our child's seat is on that plane. How are we supposed to go home? Is this an actual joke? Like,
So they sent the car seat, the bags to Newark, left them behind, and said you can't ride with American Airlines anymore. So.
This is absolutely disgusting. They should sue them.
I'm sure they're going to.
They should sue the airline. I mean, I'm not somebody that's trigger happy for suing, but that is, I mean, if that happened to me, I'm putting myself in their position. I would be so livid, you guys. Like, I would turn into a full Fiorella. Like it's their 2-year-old kid. They're wearing masks. They're complying. They're adults that are able to reason and say, okay, I'm gonna wear a mask. It's their policy. It's a flight. You know, we've got COVID. Like, it's not like I'm saying don't wear a mask or whatever, especially if you're in close quarters with people you don't know where they're coming from. You're in a plane. Sure, wear a mask, etc. But a 2-year-old? If the 2-year-old, like, doesn't put on the mask, you're going to kick the whole family out. And you're not going to give them their bags. That is excessive. That is ridiculous. That is the epitome of
And they want a bailout. Should we give them the bailout money? Let's give them the bailout money.
They already got tons of bailout money.
Well, they want more bailout money because they're still suffering.
No, not until we give it to these people that have been screwed by the system. All these people that are losing everything. No, that's disgusting.
Poikinen is in Colorado, fam, today. We got Burmis and our other friends in D.C.
Nice.
Poikinen is out there in the Free Assange vigil out there from 12 to 1 today. It already took place. Journalism is not a crime, so they're out there. If you see any love or support, you can send to Action for Assange. They're out there doing some great work.
They are.
Steve Poikinen is out there, so we want to send our love and safe travels to Steve Poikinen. Free Assange now. Well, listen, after this last situation with Donald Trump getting shut down here, I know they're going to continue to still fight on. They're going to go back to the lower courts. In Georgia, they filed an emergency injunction and everything. Right now is the time, Donald Trump. Free Assange, pardon Assange,
if you
pardon
Snowden,
Assange. Let's go. Let's do this.
You would get all these people that are...
Forget about it. Forget about it. This is the
that
time.
Would be smart.
Do it now. They don't care about you, the military-industrial complex, the deep state, the big tech. They don't care about you. Pardon Assange. Do it now, Donald Trump. WikiLeaks. He gave you the election. Now you owe him because you owe us. You owe freedom of speech a lot. Give it to us right now. Pardon Assange. And in other news, Jimmy Lai was denied bail in China, Hong Kong.
Jimmy Lai. Remind people who Jimmy Lai is.
Jimmy Lai is a oligarch from Hong Kong. Has media, whatnot. You know, he's a big investor in Hong Kong. They had a new law. They pretty much they arrested him, Beijing, the Chinese government. And now they have said no bail for Jimmy Lai whatsoever. So I'm just interested to see what's going to happen if this new administration comes in with Joe Biden. What's going to happen? Because I know Joe Biden and Jimmy Lai are friends.
Yep.
The establishment is friends with Jimmy Lai. But he's also friends with the Trump administration and the anti-Chinese people.
Yeah, because they're both
anti-Beijing.
They're both anti-China.
So whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's interesting to see what's going to happen with Jimmy Lai, but no bail for him.
People have been talking about the Uyghurs again.
I'm sure they have.
Because, well, there's more and more people are saying that the narrative was false. Regarding them in the camps, and more people are talking about it. So we talked about that a long time ago. Pasta in particular.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a panda hugger is what I'm called right now.
Gloria Jones made a meme with you in the eyes that says
the Uyghurs, man. But I mean, as you start looking into the connections financially now with all these other
NEDs.
Democratic parties, and you know what I'm saying, it's like, wait a second, like, you know, you see Swalwell hanging out with a Chinese spy, you know, Joe Biden and Hunter with Seneca Wallace, you know, Seneca Partners, not Seneca Wallace, Seneca Partners and whatnot. So I mean, there's funding going in a lot of, you know, when it comes to Netflix and all these other things. So I don't know what it is about a lot of people on the right that like to make that kind of comparison. Well, if this is true, then it must be true about the Uyghurs, and they're taking the Uyghurs and they're harvesting organs and they're sending them over. You know, I don't believe that shit. I still need a lot more proof right now when it comes to that stuff. You can't deny the money lines, and you're very curious, and I'm looking into them, and it's definitely changing a lot of my perspective. But, you know, we'll just continue to monitor things as they go along. We'll see the relationship that the Biden campaign has with people like Jimmy Lai and what's going on. So I don't know.
Basically, what I think is, like, there are forces in China who are pro-Western and who want a more Western system. And they want to align themselves with people in America who want that as well. So they're going to make those connections, while simultaneously there are people in the Chinese government who want us out and want us nothing to do with us, that are fighting for that as well. And all of this gets caught in the middle. So
it's interesting because we have a situation where, you know, they were so down. They were just the country was poor. It was in ruins. And they took all the money, all the things that they made for our country for years, took that money and became the purveyor of our currency, and then used that to do whatever they can to buy influence in certain times. I don't know. It's still a lot of things going on. Rocky Bellinger just sent me this video, and it was kind of alarming what the head dean teacher kind of said at this one university about some of the connections they had within the government to get things done, because they had the money. They held on for so many long, and they bought influence. And they bought influence in media. They bought influence in entertainment. So what is that influence is the question. You know what I'm saying? I think Alex Jones gets a little bit crazy with the whole situation that they're trying to turn our government into a communist government and whatnot. And once again, you can't deny the money lines, and we have to take a look at this and see what's going on. But when they say that the Chinese government wants more of the Biden in office than the Trump in office, it's hard to argue that, because you see the money. You see the money lines, and it's kind of say, oh, wait a second here, something's going on.
Yeah, both sides have been anti-China.
Well, no, China. I mean, nothing like Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been really anti-China. So, just interesting. I don't know. A lot remains to be seen, because it's a lot to figure out. We'll continue to monitor, and we'll see what's going on.
So real quick, I want to play this. Steve Cox, a controversial figure on Twitter, I believe. He said this was May 20, 1962. 18 months later, he was killed. Nearly 60 years later, we the people are still waiting for what President JFK was proposing in his speech from Madison Square Garden. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this.
No.
But this is pretty interesting.
I think
England is entirely different. In England, the entire cost of medicine for people of all ages, all of it, doctors, the choice of doctors, hospitals, from the time you're born to the time you die, are included in a government program. But what we're talking about is entirely different. And I hope that while he's here, he and Dr. Spock and others who have joined us will come to see what we're trying to do. The fact of the matter is that what we are now talking about doing, most of the countries of Europe did years ago. The British did it 30 years ago. We are behind every country pretty nearly in Europe in this matter of medical care for our citizens. And then those who say that this should be left to private effort. In those hospitals in New Jersey where the doctors said they wouldn't treat anyone, who paid their hospital bills through Social Security, those hospitals and every other new hospital, the American people, all of us, contribute 1/2, 1 or 2/3 for every new hospital, the national government. We pay 55% of all the research done. We help young men become doctors. We are concerned with the progress of this country. And those who say that what we are now talking about spoils our great pioneer heritage should remember that the West was settled with 2 great actions by the national government. One, in President Lincoln's administration, when he gave a homestead to everyone who went west, and in 1862 he set aside government property to build our land-grant colleges. This cooperation between an alert and progressive citizenry and a progressive government is what has made this country great, and we shall continue as long as we have the opportunity.
Wow.
And how many years later, and we still don't have health care for all? We're still arguing just to bring it to a floor vote, and you're going to tell me that we can reform the Democratic Party? I go back to that because look how long this has been going on. Look how long we've been saying that all these countries already have healthcare included in their system. This is why I don't support a public option, because it is the minimal. It's been years, decades. Literally, people have come and been born and died, and we still can't even get what England had decades ago. Come on, people. We can't even bring it up to a floor vote? Are you fucking kidding me? This is why you should be angry. This is why we're still saying this shit, because nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Progressives come into the party, they leave. Nothing has changed. We can't reform this party. It is beyond reform.